Late September 1944, the Battle of Arnhem Bridge during Operation Market Garden. Well, hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Gates of Hell Ostfront, a mod by Sturmfuhrer PK, which really reminds me of the mission from Company of Heroes retaking Arnhem Bridge. Yeah, that's a fantastic DLC for a fantastic RTS game, and so is Gates of Hell. For those of you who like Men of War Assault Squad, Gates of Hell is essentially the same, but really with updated engines and graphics and a lot more, and it's quite the game. Well, good to see you all back. We're going to go ahead and capture, I guess, the bridge after clearing out the town and start pushing towards Arnhem Bridge up here. The British paratroopers capturing the bridge and holding back German convoys and really just being a nuisance in the area for quite some time. If you've ever seen the movie, or if you haven't seen the movie A Bridge Too Far, a damn highly phenomenal and highly recommended film, and definitely recommended that you check that one out to see some things from the British perspective, and really just a great movie with Sean Connery. Alright, well, let's go ahead and continue to push forward. We'll go ahead and let things play out for a little bit as we observe what's going on here. This is being played with the Assault, or the Contact mod, and also the Valor mod, which includes a few more vehicles and skins and other things that you wouldn't normally see in the base game, but also the base game focusing heavily on the Soviets and the Germans, so them two factions being the most developed of the full game. But of course there's many other mods for it, including ones for Vietnam and ones for other wars and battles on the Western Front. Of course, this taking place in the Netherlands. British paratroopers there being hit hard by the autocannons as the Germans will be approaching soon. Oh boy, rough for that guy. Let's go ahead and get right into it then. We're going to go ahead and push up and start taking some enemy positions. We've got autocannons that are going to be super effective against all the barriers that the British have set up. We're going to try to push on this side to capture the main road and then start pushing towards the top. Once we hold the top, we're going to then start pushing towards some of the positions on the lower side of the city, just on the other side of the bridge. Okay, let's go ahead and get some of our units in gear. We'll go ahead and start taking this corner of the city first. And it looks like there's a hell of a lot of German forces here. Nicely detailed, too. You know, honestly, for as diverse as the base game is, it's hard to tell exactly what's modded and what's not for terms of weapons and equipment and also their uniforms. Let's go ahead and get the machine gun up here at MG42. Let's go ahead and get him to push up. Go ahead and have him move across the street real quick. And it looks like it's pretty clear to take the corner. If he would be so kind to, there we go, get onto his belly and secure that left flank. Looks like he's not too concerned with the obvious British paratroopers here. I'll go ahead and try to pin him down. There we go. Alright, reloading that MG42. And some of our vehicles will need to push up here. There we go. We'll leave a little bit of cover for our troops to cross that roadway. Now, this mod actually comes with 4 different missions. This is the only one featuring the Germans, but the other 3 missions taking place at, I think, a bridge called Grey Bridge and also Sun Bridge, and a few other bridge crossings that need to be captured by the Allied paratroopers there. Wow, look at that fire. Oh, looks like we have a little command vehicle here, too. Interesting. Kind of reminds me of some of the vehicles from Company Heroes as well, at least in the first game. Some of the things that can be built with those DLCs. What? Oh, I thought our soldier there had a grenade. All right, let's continue to push up. Now that the flank here is secure, and in front of us too, we'll go ahead and start pushing up into some of these. Are they in the buildings? Looks like there's an infantryman inside the. No, on the other side. Okay. Yeah, that's what this mod also includes, is a lot of different buildings, some of which look a little lower quality than the base game. Some of these taken from Men of War Assault Squad and brought into Call to Arms, which, of course, is a much more high-def experience, but still both games are very, very good. If anybody would ask me what I prefer, it would be both, since there's so much free content for mods on both sides, and yet also free quality, and also a lot of great work from the developers to include a lot of new missions and things that haven't really been seen before. Alright, we're going to go ahead and flank on the right side. British paratroopers are on the defense, so we'll kind of push up and see if we can kind of clear out this right flank. Get our troops pushing. Now, another great thing about this game is, of course, we can go into first person with any soldier and or the vehicles, so those juicy tigers that I know you want me to be using, we'll go ahead and give a little bit of a use to in just a moment. I think we might have maybe a mortar carrier somewhere, perhaps not, but I think we do have a Stug on the map, don't we? No, just Panzer IVs and also Tigers. Good to have them here. All right, let's go ahead and continue to push up the street. We got some infantry there, down at the end of the block. Those would be troops that we want to normally suppress. Oh, we also push to our right. So let's get the... Oh, not... Wow, that guy just ran out. Bad times for him. Now, it's quite possible for them to throw a grenade over the top of the building. We just want to be careful to make sure that doesn't happen. That's why I'm keeping the machine gunner here. Try to stop any of that infantry from flanking. Okay. So we'll bring up our 20mm. Start scanning for any trouble on the road. And now we have a little bit of breathing room here. Go ahead and have these two here the right flank. So basically what I'm doing is getting ready to ambush the enemy if they try to flee from any of the positions that they hold now. And believe you me, they're definitely going to try to run. AI is unpredictable in this game, and as you've seen just before, yeah, it looks like a whole squad almost wiped out. Just dudes peeking around the corner and not being cautious. Oh, I think I scored a hit on that guy. Ooh. Okay, everything looks secure on this side. Nice shot. Squirrely, isn't he? Alright, so now we have this wall here. Yeah, everything was good there, just a few stragglers to clean up. So now we've got some room to bring up the tanks. Just a little bit. A wonderful Panzer, a Tiger Panzer. Now the other missions are really interesting too, because in some of the other missions we're allowed to call out paratroopers wherever we want. So, you know, in this case we're a ground force that's arriving, but as the aggressor who is invading certain territories held by the enemy, we're actually able to take several objectives by dropping paratroopers behind them. And so for the British to be able to drop behind German positions and destroy like anti-aircraft guns and vehicles and whatnot by hiding in a bush nearby and, you know, like making their way from a landing zone to an enemy held position and attacking it is really interesting and really similar to what would happen on, you know, the night before on D-Day with the June 5th/6th landings by air, the paratroopers, basically. Very cool stuff. Alright, well, it looks like the warehouse here is relatively undefended. There are a few defenders here, but not on this side. So we could actually plow right through and bring our infantry through. It's time to act on the left side now. Would be a really interesting thing to play these missions co-op, too, with one commander or one player on the left flank and one commander on the right flank and working together to try to push at the same time, so that way the enemy really can't flank you. Go ahead and see if we can plow through this wall here. Oh, yes. We'll make a door. And let's get the infantry through. And now we'll bring up our 20mm with HE rounds. We got vehicles, we may as well use them. Oh, we got a rifleman actually able to engage that roadblock down there. Very nice. Alright, let's get our MG up here. Have him lay down fire there. Oh, it's reminding me of some of my holdouts in Hell Let Loose, trying to hold positions like inside of some factories in some of those battlefields. And trying to stay hidden as a machine gunner. Always unsuccessful, but It only lasts so long. Of course, Postscriptum is another fantastic game that does simulate a lot of the Western Front too, in terms of Market Garden. Awesome, a Piat launcher destroying that half-track there. Very cool. That was like an immediate shot too. So those weapons are super dangerous. I was hoping that the enemy would not be an easy pushover, but great looking uniforms there too for the commandos and all the paratroopers. Good. All right, the enemy's not going to be easy, so this is good. I was hoping to have a little bit of a fight, and thank God I got it. All right, let's go ahead and bring up a Tiger now. So the 20 millimeters are very good at long range, being able to clear out roadblocks such as this. But also the HE rounds of the tank are also destructive, to where we can fire them behind the enemy. And an explosion could possibly wound or kill them. In this case, we're going to get off the main road and continue to provide some fun for the enemy. Hopefully not in terms of targets. Wow, nice. Look at those shots, man. Crazy, this guy. I can't fire the MG or whatnot. Ooh, nice, right into the building. Alright. Oh, also, this is APC cap. Do we not have... But not go into first-person command of this tank. We should have an HE round there. There we go. That would have been better. My assumption was that it was filled with HE. It'll be quite the fight here. These paratroopers are dug in nicely. Oh, spread out, boys. Spread out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Spread out. Oh, boy. I'll have to get a medic here. These paratroopers are not messing around. There we go. Oh, I don't think we have a medic. Gonna be a hell of a fight without any sort of medic. We're going to take wounded. I mean, it's a war after all. We're supposed to, of course, take wounded and shift them out. Well, I want the approach of being able to have an infantry battle here, but we might just have to refer to like defer to multiplayer tactics, where instead of dealing with the enemy head-on, we kind of do a little bit of cheese. There was a good example of like a good defensive position, but we need medics to be able to actually push through some of these positions, because again, these are highly trained soldiers. We're highly trained soldiers ourselves, but also the enemy's pretty highly trained too, and so we're going to have quite the fight here. But if the British are going to put up quite a large fight like this, we're going to have to actually really engage them from afar with like HE rounds and not engage with infantry at all, which I really want a full fight like this. But you don't want things to be one-sided. The interest in this is when it's more true and realistic, to where retaking a position doesn't mean 3 losses versus enemy 40. There we go. Good position here. Enemies panicked enough now to where they're missing all their shots. Come into the factory now with the Tiger tank. And let's go ahead and load a HE round. There we go. And we'll fire that at that truck there, and that should cause an explosion to kill everyone in front of it if it's close enough. It looks to be. The red truck, not the green one. I had to tip it over to get it out of the way. Sometimes you gotta shoot twice. Double tap. Oh, nice. Well, that whipped that guy into shape over there. Let's hit that tower there. And we'll let the Tiger continue to engage there. Why, these troops are bleeding out. I just don't think we have a medic on the map at all. Yeah, I don't see anybody with the ability to be a medic at all. So this is going to be more of a battle for endurance. Basically, we're going to try to maintain all the equipment we can. Although, I like the kind of the first playthrough of these because they're always the most challenging. You never know what will come at you, and so it feels the most realistic. Jumping into a situation in battle where it's just completely unpredictable for both sides. The enemy doesn't know what we have for assets. We don't know how many of them there are or where they're hiding. There's just some things that are unknown. Alright, well, the British were successful in wiping out most of a squad in a half-track and also a, well, another half-track 2 centimeter. They've also damaged a Panzer IV. So these are not going to be a group of soldiers to underestimate. Right side, we're doing great, though. We'll go ahead and continue our advance towards the bridge. Go ahead and plow through this fence. There we go. Let's have our soldiers come up here. Where'd that other guy go? He must have ran across the street here. There we go. Alright, so we're going to push up slowly. There is a soldier here, but this will allow us to cover a lot of ground and split the enemy there. The main objective here is going to be this bridge. And I believe our main objectives are to... Well, it says to retake the town, Arnhem, from the British paratroopers, so... I guess we'll continue to push up and do that. Uh-oh. We're also out of 20mm there. And apparently our tank is looking behind us. Oh, he turned around for some reason. That's interesting. Crazy AI. You know, of all my time playing this game, I've always noticed a lot of problems on the edge of the map. You get the weirdest AI behavior when a vehicle is being called in from the edge of the map or whatever. It always seems that they, I don't know, they're returning from some war that they're fighting behind them rather than, like, in front of them. Almost as if they had to get through enemy fire to arrive. Oh, interesting. A friendly soldier there. Eliminated too. I did station those troops here in order to protect this right flank. They must have shot him from the little barrier there to this right side. I love how dangerous the enemy troops are here. This is fantastic. It really does feel like they're some good odds here. Knowing that we don't have a medic or whatnot, I would definitely play that left side a little differently, but no regrets, as this challenge kind of makes it a little bit more of a nail-biter. What will happen? How will the enemy counterattack if they can? Will they have some other magical paratroopers arrive from off-map? Some other scouting party that has come back and now they get reinforced a little bit? Obviously, they didn't have reinforcements in the IRL, but you never know if forces from somewhere else could come in and play into the battle. A lot of these assets, these destroyed buildings, are also from a destroyed Berlin. A lot of the mods really focus on an end war scenario with a lot of good equipment, high-tech equipment, and then also a lot of destroyed buildings from Berlin that... Oh, damn. That showcase the fall of Berlin there. Wow. A lot of blood, too. Should have cooked that grenade a bit more. All right, let's continue to push up on the left, or the right side. We'll push left through here, if we can. Now, those British have a lot of those Piat launchers, man. Those are fantastic. Love getting kills with a Piat in Postscriptum, and I really hope in the future that Hell Let Loose focuses a little bit more on the late 44 Western Front and early 45 Western Front. A lot of stuff to cover there. Now, we also don't have supply. So once our autocannons have kind of depleted their rounds, that's pretty much it. Got about 2,000 rounds there for that half-track. Does this have an autocannon? It does. Wow, they burned through their autocannon ammunition, too. Okay, another barrier seemingly cleared. There are still stragglers, that's the most dangerous, and also a few random dead up here. British being told to hold the line, I'm sure. But we'll switch to HE as they don't want to surrender. Let's go ahead and see if we can knock that barrier out of the way. Wow. Probably best to remove the enemy cover too, so our infantry can take pot shots at them. Looks like corrugated steel, small pieces of wood, sandbags, and even barbed wire are in this roadblock here. Ooh, and you saw a Piat launcher there. Let's push up to these car wrecks here.
Auf den Boden!
All right, let's let the Tiger come on through. Put a round up into that building. Another wounded soldier there. A great advantage for us with these tanks in these narrow streets, especially when we have the enemy in front of us. Not a great thing when they're anywhere but in front of us. It's either great or absolutely horrifyingly terrible on all directions. Not something we want to encounter as an enemy vehicle behind us. Like we've still got some more stragglers up in that building. Put another round up there. Trying to hit the... are these rounds going through? Enemy's got what looks to be the wonderful... Is that a Bren gun up there? We can actually blow them out of that building. Yeah, look at that wonderful Bren gun. Is the enemy's pretty well pinned down there. Oh, did they shoot the command? No, it's just a Volksgrenadier there. Wait the fight. Very slow and go here. Now, I think maybe at a certain point the enemy might possibly surrender from here. I'm not I mean, I think the Germans historically did take prisoners at this battle, particularly quite a few of them, but in fact it's one of the end cutscenes from the mission in Company Heroes where, of course, a lot of the British surrender, but I mean at that point Even though Market Garden's kind of considered to be an operational failure, it certainly went down in infamy and certainly caused a lot of havoc. Both sides. No contacts up in the buildings. So we're now starting to break through heavily on that right side. And we're going to have to do a little cleanup here. So I'm going to start diverting assets from this left side over to the right. So we've got our Tiger. We've got a Panzer IV. And an MG-42 here, essentially. That'll just kind of cut them off from flanking behind us. Here, an autocannon here. More infantry inside that building. Piat launchers at any point are going to be a nightmare. Yeah, that looks pretty good there. No, don't turn. Feel a babysitting simulator sometimes. Okay, we might have enemy infantry inside this building, but I think they're just down the street. Nice. Grenade up into the building, killing those two troops there. Still got a runner over here. Man, every one of these troops almost having a damn Piat launcher. What a nightmare. Enemy troops up on the bridge there. Okay. Well, we're at the road now. Enemy forces are kind of walking over out of curiosity. That was a miss. That was a hit. Piat's getting ready to fire again. Oh, I think we shot him. He's down. Wow, an entire squad there eliminated. Alright, yeah, we're going to have to be... really wish we had a medic here because we have to be very cautious about that infantry, which means that we're going to probably deal with the... vehicles a lot more than I want to. Ball this tank a little back. Oh boy. Gave the order several times. Ah, yeah, in this game, when a soldier goes to reload, reloading takes priority over the move order. So if somebody's under fire, they will stay there and they will reload before they move. And it looks like in this realism mod, the reloading time has been slowed down. So if somebody's under fire and they're out of ammo, they're basically dead. That's it. Which explains why a lot of the British troops, when they begin to reload the Piat, don't really go anywhere. They might lay down or crouch, but that's about it. Alright, Panzer IV is ready to dance. Great paint job on it, too. Looking real cool. Okay, well, I would say we have the southern part of the city secure with an annoying amount of cleanup we'll have to do to just throw shells into buildings. But that does mean we'll have to throw some shells here and there in order to save the lives of our troops. Otherwise, this would be a good way to kind of discourage them from living. You get my drift. And then we could go clean them up with the infantry. But this just makes the infantry have a little more of a support role. That's cool. You can actually see the shells ricocheting off the wall and going to the left that way. Put one more shell up there. Okay, let's stop our tank there. Now, honestly, we could probably just throw all the AP shells out of the tank so the tank can't possibly re-equip those. At this point, HE is just where we want to go 99% of the time. There is a use for armor-piercing shells to penetrate sandbags and be able to eliminate the troops on the other side. Well, looks like number 171 here has been repaired. Yeah, it did a little damage to it. Alright. Mostly clear. Now once we get to this section, we have a great advantage because we can finally get elevation. This allows us to shoot down the alleyways of the streets with a little bit more safety. Yeah. We'll continue to push. I'm going to bring our troops up here now. Vehicles are kind of covering their advance. Now, where's Sean Connery, damn it? Okay, our infantry is all right on the middle there. So anytime you see a red highlight, that's an enemy soldier, and most of those have been killed by the vehicles. And there's a hell of a lot of open space here. Ooh, wow. Tiger firing off. Oh, there's an absolute nightmare up there. That's going to be tough because the turret is going to have a nightmare trying to depress itself up there. We really don't have enough infantry to do anything meaningful here. Only 9 rounds remaining for the Tiger, too. This will be worth it. Well, the enemy troops are lucky. There's a piece of wood right there in the way. And it looks like we could probably take that position too. End of the road looks vacant. What are you doing here, pal? You see this guy? Brad, what are you doing? Goofball? Alright. Well, let's get a, now we're out of the 20mm. Let's just get a simple half-track up here with machine guns. We should be able to turn and burn. The Tiger firing behind it now. Looks like these are the buildings to be on the lookout for. Buildings with the destroyed tops. Whoa. Wow, they don't waste any time at all. Jeez. And what I was hoping to do here was to actually reverse our half-track to try to peek over to the top, but as you can see, it's just a nightmare. Oh, that's so cool how that vehicle just rolled down the hill like that. That's awesome. And just plowed into the building on fire. That's really cool. Looks like we got the soldier healing up there. I really don't think we need anything but the Tigers now. We just need the Tiger ammo to clear out the rest of this map. The infantry is kind of just not really useful for us. Let's go ahead and speed up our time here while we get the Tiger down the straight. Infantry, too soft. Enemies in too good of defensive positions. We need reinforcements. We can't get it. We need medics. We don't have it. And ammunition we could also use a lot more of too. But at this point, we're like one step short of like actually capturing British weapons just so we can get some ammo for our infantry. Tiger, what the hell are you doing? The Tiger has bumped into a wall and has driven over its own tank man. I thought it would just go this way, but it decided to make a intelligent decision. Can't trust that AI. Alright, let's do this for some flair and shenanigans. There, you're part of the tank crew now. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to slow things down to the absolute slowest crawl and see what we can do to encourage the British to leave these positions. Now, the problem with this is that, again, infantry would be great, but I don't even think we could throw a grenade this far. In the pathing, I don't even think we could get even close enough to actually throw that grenade. Actually, there's British troops on the left flank. We have one Piat launcher ready to go. Oh, this is about the right speed. Oh, wow. Did the Piat fire into the ground, or did a friendly tank engage? It looks like our friendly tank fired there. Smoke coming out of the barrel. Well, the Tiger's actually doing something. I guess we're kind of out of range of the Piat, perhaps. But other than that, that Piat is super powerful. I love seeing that. I feel like that's just greatly accurate. It was really cool to see those vehicles get destroyed, too. Don't want just a one-sided super soldier battle. That's just dumb. Not interesting. Cool. Sweet explosion. Alright, let's speed things up again. I think I saw a Piat there right on this side. About to be fired. Now we're just out of range. They can't do anything against us. Somebody had a Piat though. Perhaps this guy? Oh, a flank. Lucky Englander. Man, that Piat launcher is so good against light vehicles. Okay, let's get our tank up here. And we can get some repairs. That tank's damaged, but there's a lot we can do to repair that. It's totally fine. Looks like just a track and some body damage there to the hull. Are we in regular speed? Wow, that Panzer IV is hauling ass, man. Other Panzer IV is just fine. We could use this to just clean up, I suppose. But just like it was in Company Heroes, it was important to capture the top of this bridge because this is what really allows us to kind of dominate over the battle, or at least use our tanks more effectively. I think we have one more defender here. Trying to hit the top of those barriers. Okay, so what we do now is we basically get the Tigers into a position where they can fire down on these defenses. And our Tiger basically becomes a sniper. Those Piats, dude, the angling of those is so cool. I believe it's spring-loaded. There's like no propellant on it. Although I don't know how the hell they're hitting us from here. Dude, that's hilarious as hell. When those troops fly from being shot like that, it's like in the Power Rangers when, you know, Rita Repulsa calls down a boss and he, like, slams down and then everybody goes flying. Kind of like that. Alright, well, we still got that guy to pin down. So, I think the goal of this mission and many of the other missions that are available in this pack from Sturmfuhrer PK is to basically try to do them with minimal losses. It is a war. You should take losses. It shouldn't be so easy, but you should get to the point where you're so familiar with what's going on in the actual fight that you can take on anything. And calling out the British paratroopers and trying to land behind enemy positions, or even this mission trying to minimize infantry losses, is going to be quite the challenge. And I'd say it's, you know, on a difficulty of hard or higher, it's going to be impossible to at least not take some sort of damage, tank crew lost or something like that due to a lucky hit. It's going to kind of be tough to be surgical because, of course, you also want to do things quickly. You know, you're trying to clear the city as quickly as you can before nighttime, before the British can do more damage. So if you're trying to simulate it realistically and trying to do things quickly and effectively, it's a good balance between them. Another enemy soldier going flying there. Yeah, now that we have the hill, everything's going to hell for the enemy. Tiger there should be able to just fire down on the enemy troops. Yeah, from here we pretty much... we have an Anakin Skywalker situation here. Alright, so with our remaining troops, I think what we can do is, let's see. There's enemy defenders there at that roadblock. Let's go ahead and see if we can park a vehicle here to look down on them. Now there's our Piat friend. Ooh, close. Well, that removes the threat for the tanks. Alright, so I think at this point we would tell the British that they can surrender. But they would probably respond by saying they don't have the proper facilities to house us as prisoners. That probably took place beforehand, before the battle. Oh. Just trying to peek. I really don't want to expose the side like this, but... Damn lawnmower engine. Alright. So yeah, from here on out, we've got this, boys. We basically just fire down on the enemy in some of these positions, and that is GG for them. A little bit of clearing things out, but kind of just going to be tedious, I think. But that's war. Again, guys, this has been the Operation Market Garden mod from Sturmfuhrer PK. If you go into getting the Valor mod and also the Close Combat mod, or the Contact mod, that's what it is. Operation Market Garden has 4 missions, 3 of which feature the Allied forces, the British, and then 1 for the Germans against the paratroopers that you just saw at Arnhem Bridge. So there's also Sun Bridge, Grave Bridge, and Wolf of Z, which are basically British invasion missions and or like basically clear the map of enemy forces. They're all the same, but they're damn good and a good experience in Call to Arms / Meta War again and again. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a like on the way out for these types of videos if you'd like to see more mods and other mod makers on the channel. It's been a great, amazing amount of people making Call to Arms and Gates of Hell mods, as well as Meta War Assault Squad, from Sturmfuhrer to even Pershing, and we also have the Old Boys mod and Rob's of Rob's Realism, and of course the legendary Sir Henkel, who rumorly went on to make missions for Gates of Hell too. So anyway, I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.